Guys, we rehearsed this. It's quack. Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here on the Modsauce2 server, and I'm at the necromancy spot to do a little extra necromancy work. We unfortunately had another server rollback, and all the stuff that we did on Saturday was toast, which is strange because the last time it was also Saturday. So not sure what's happening there. Anyway, one of the comments that was made, Claws of Fury, said if you go ahead and name your golden lasso, then drop the minion, you get a named minion. And I said, oh really? Let's give that a whirl. So I've got me a minion in here, and let's drop him here in the back. And he should now be named Surf and Turf. Hey. Stop it. Oh, yeah. That's always fun. Here, come here. You are going to sit right there and look very strange. So, what you looking at? What you looking at? For some reason, these animals, the pigs, the cows, the sheep, all look up when they are told to stay put. And the legs of the squid are not quite what I would say is normal. I think that's the mouthpiece there. But so this is Mr. Surf and Turf. And I got some demons scattered along here on the edge. Over here, thanks to Tom, who was saying, hey, why don't you just do a bunch of mixed up minions? Well, here we have Lefty. And over here, we have Flynn Rider because they just could never get his nose right. And the first one I did up here is Frank, which, again, because of the sheep body and naked sheep body, when I told him to park it, he's also checking out something that's really, really interesting up there. And I think it's because he's really stupid, because if you look inside his head, I don't see any brains. And I remember putting some brains in there, but I see no brains in there whatsoever. Huh. Oh well. Let's fly quickly over to the Botania area. Prodel mentioned in the comments that the recent update to the Modsauce has a Botania update where the passive flowers will wither no matter what. Takes about an hour and they disappear. Which is sad, because one of the reasons why I built this structure here was for the hydrangeas, so they had a huge amount of water next to them, and it also looked really cool. It's hard to see on this, and again, the flowers are gone, so you can't see it at all, but at about this distance, there were hundreds and hundreds of little sparkles all over as all the flowers were grabbing and consuming the mana. And if the mana was pumping through, it was just streak after streak, and it looked really cool. So let's come flying on in. What I've done, I went ahead and made a quick little change. Down here, I am using a mixture of blood magic. That's the ritual down there, the serenade of the nether. And these thermal lilies, they will consume that, pump them into here, and up it goes. And these guys are doing everything that I need, even with the constant drain of the flowers over here. What it does mean is I can get rid of all these extra pieces up the side. It's so much wasted space. I do have some of these, the endoflames that I was playing with, and I could put them around here and set up something that will drop on top. I should put a lid on top of the lava here, because it's just about right. If you drop in, you could land right on top of the lava, and I had that in place, but the rollback got rid of that. So I could put that and set up a little system, but this is clean, looks nice. It's not nearly as good looking as having all the hydrangeas nearby, but the mod author was saying, nope, he doesn't want you to play with his mod other than how he wants you to play. And in fact, he said he'd rather that people not play his mod than play it in a butchered fashion. So I said, okay, here's my Sojourner sash. There, let me turn off my magnet. And I don't need that. As much as I really love the Sojourner Sash, that is something that I can use elsewhere. And I'm not going to need to chunk load this area anymore. Because, yeah, I'm done with the Botania here on the Modsauce server. Let me go over here. He won't let me play the way I want to play, so I said, okay, I won't play. That's his wishes. Let's see. What I really liked about the Sojourner Sash, and something that I really wanted to have on as early as I could, a little bit because of the speed boost, which is nice, but mainly for the step assist. That really is nice. I really love being able to go up blocks without having to jump up them. Because when you come along and you go thunk, you got to jump up, thunk, and you got to jump up. It's just really annoying. So I went ahead and made here the Sigil of Haste, bound it to my armor, and now I've got the little speed run boost and step assist. Don't need the Sojourner Sash, so I'm done with that. So, got to do a few other things to change the amount of work on the server, because we were hitting some CPU load, and I think we figured out what the problem was. So, got to make a little bit of change on that. So, talking about cleaning up the CPU usage on the server, I'm here at the Mekanism world, and this is the main cause of the problem. Originally, I dropped a chunk loader in here and did a 9x9 loading of chunks. That's 81 chunks. And started noticing that the CPU hit 100% and just stayed there. And we were thinking, okay, why is that? Well, we've got lots and lots and lots of we got lots and lots and lots of things running in here. Hey, no wall. Things running over here. We were just saying, maybe stagger. Come on, catch up. There we go. Better. So we were thinking maybe that was the problem, and we also thought maybe the reactor and the animations, the calculations might be causing the problem. But I think it was just the sheer amount of space here was the problem. So we reduced it. It's now a 7x7, so that's 49 chunks that's loaded. That's almost half, and that's better. The system's running better, but it's still not as good as I want. So thing I've been doing is rearranging this. We're going to have it set up to be a 5x5 chunk area here that's loaded, and that should be much better. And so, no back wall. What I did is I came out here and I outlined up here at the height of the building what the outside of the 5x5 chunk will be. And then we're going to move the building walls out to that spot. And you can see I've done a little bit work here in the corner and over here in that corner. And just having this stuff right here, I can just go over and look and say, okay, what? The problem is I'm not quite sure I've got it all lined up and figured out, because there's a nice little piece here. Oh, nope, I can't go down. Nope, sure enough, it's back a little bit. Let me show you over here. This is where I hit it. So if you look at it this direction, you can see how that side matches up with the outside of that window frame, and that matches up. The problem, though, is this is now 3 wide, whereas this is how it's supposed to look. It has this 2 wide piece, and I was thinking, why is it off here? But no, yeah, that's exactly how it is there in the corner. So I don't know. I could have it be the 3 wide and the 3x3 in the corner. I don't know. I need to fiddle with that and see which looks best. But it's 2 wide everywhere else. And it has nice regular chunks that makes it pretty easy to replicate across. So that's what I'm looking at doing. Anyway, the other thing that I'm planning on doing is taking all of these brine or evaporators, because they're not all brine, and raising them back up so that we can move, and again, I keep forgetting that the quite clear glass is here. We're going to move them up so that we can have a lot more things going on underneath. For example, the heavy water stuff over here does not need to be solar powered. I could run some Tesseract power through here just as easily. In fact, there's the Tesseract right there. So I could power that up and have that mounted down deep. And so this does not have to be up here in the top. Plus, one of the things we've been doing is making a much bigger backlog of these fuels. This, for the tritium, that does have to be solar powered because of these, again, boundary block, because these solar neutron activators have to be solar powered. That's, solar. So I was thinking they may get stuck up high here where we don't have anything, any of these evaporators up here. So stick them up here and expand this building out a lot more. So 5x5, that's only 25 chunks. That's less than a third of what we had been loading out here. And that should make this run so much happier. It just means raising these up a whole bunch, tearing down the walls, rebuilding the walls, all sorts of fun stuff. From this angle, the walls don't look all that big, but no, they're quite tall. I wanted to keep Nepo's format here, so I've been going through and building up chunk by chunk by chunk, and then went on the other side, went chunk, 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 and then lined it up, and it almost completes in the middle. It's slightly different. Here, let me flip around so you can see. It's slightly different. It's one square or one block shorter in width, or narrower in width. But I think that kind of works, and it gives us a little access way in there, and so we're good to go. And I've got my sigil of the lamp, I think it is. Sigil of the blood lamp that I've been using to light up the insides of this thing. Let me jump in here. So yeah, you can see where I've been chewing down the walls so I can get the materials to build this up. Unfortunately, it's going to be much bigger than what we've got, so I'm going to have to generate a lot of these things. But yeah, they got these little tiny lights right here. There we go. Just to make sure that this doesn't spawn. We've got a magnum torch down, but that's not mattered way over here. I've been occasionally getting some zombies when... Oh, there's a spider right back there. So we're occasionally getting some mob spawns back here, which is not much fun, particularly when I was tearing down this back wall. So back wall's gone, a good chunk of this, I guess this would be the west wall, and that's formed the north. So yeah, definitely a lot more resources. Alright, time to break out the tool and start chewing it down some more, and then going on around. Why'd you make it with so many fiddly stair bits? Place stair, flip around, place another stair, flip around, place... 9 hours later. If you take a quick look at the map in the corner, you can see we've got the full square, and yep, it is all done. I just barely finished that side. Oh man, lots and lots of fiddly bits there. Still have the roof. You can barely see it. There it is. The quite clear glass. It doesn't have the full roof of that done, but yeah. That's been moved up for the heavy water. I just moved over the tritium production right there. There's the lithium production that uses, and then I'm going to move all of these guys, the evaporators for brine, and just stack them up here. And then it's pretty much done. Just finish bricking the floor. I've got two different paths coming in. This one's dark using the stone, and this one's using the marble. And I think I kind of like the marble, although I think that's a little bit brighter than these other marbles. But it still kind of works. Still not gonna have to do something in the center. Not sure which. Maybe put a fountain or something in there just to break up all this uber industrial stuff going on. And I like how the solar panels on the top just kind of fade away as I back up a little bit. They all disappear and then they come back up again. So I'm just out of the render distance. So, but yeah, it's been working very nicely. And you know, I say 9 hours because yeah, pretty much most of the day I've been working on this, and so yeah, I think it's been way more than 9 hours total time, but not actual in-game time because I ran to the store, worked on the replacing the internal guts of the toilet tank, and now I got to figure out why is it still leaking a little bit. Anyway, time to finish up the rest of the stuff. 900 hours later. Well, maybe not exactly 900, but I've watched almost every episode of Firefly, to give you a clue. But it's done. It's all done here. Let's take a quick look. The walls are all the way in, and doink, up at the top, there's the quite clear glass covering everything up. I've got all of our evaporators there for making brine. Those four are making lithium. That's turning the lithium into tritium. That's our deuterium processing plant that got moved out. Yeah, it's all said and done. A lot more things underneath. Not quite sure what to do with that quadrant, and we still have lots of bits and pieces and junk and stuff scattered around. I think either these machines need to get moved further over there for ore processing, or buried. I'm not sure what. But yeah, it's all done. Even added a little dorky-looking fountain in the center, so we had some water here in the desert. Other than, you know, that water there, but, you know, don't swim there. You'll get sucked up into the pipes and gone. So, yeah, all done here. The chunk loader is much smaller, so this is just a 5x5 chunk. So that should make the CPU on the server much happier. And I don't know if you can see it in the resolution on your computers playing YouTube, but I'm getting that weird effect with the brick patterns way out there. It's kind of funky looking, but yeah, cool. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Glad to have this all done, because now I can start doing something else. I don't know what, but something. Gotta do something else. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here on the Modsauce2 server, doing a whole bunch of rebuilding of the Mekanism place. Thanks for watching. Bye.